Okay, so I'm reviewing this arrest affidavit and I see it talks about the co-defendant. I'm looking for where it mentions his actions, and that's where I am, sir.
Lauren Alexander, you mean, Judge?
Yeah, we're on, isn't this Alon?
This is Alon.
Right, this is mentions, talks about the co-defendants.
Right.
Okay, what do you want to say?
Your Honor, the state has filed a motion for pretrial detention. It is a first-degree felony, sexual battery. I've also filed, just for the record, I've already filed an information and consolidated this into the F24-25503 as the B co-defendant. So just for the record. So I'm asking that they be held no bond and set tomorrow in division to set the pretrial detention hearing.
So, Mr. De Niro, what do you want to say?
Yes, sure. Well, Your Honor, by statute, they're permitted to file that motion, and so we have to roll it until tomorrow. I'm in the process of presenting a bond proposal to the state, and we're hopeful that that will be acceptable, and they'll be able to post bond by the end of the week.
Okay, so you have to go visit the division judge. I'm not sure who it is.
Lodi Jean.
I believe it's going to be Lodi.
Okay, 222. Give me one moment, though. Okay. So, sir, I am entering a stay away order from the alleged victim. His initials are MW. No contact with this alleged victim, either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing, by telephone, or through third parties. You must stay at least 500 feet away from the alleged victim, her home and school and place of employment at all times, and no contact with her through emailing, texting, Facebook messaging, the Twitter or X platform, or any other social media. Do you understand the stay away order, sir? I can't hear him, Ms. Corey. Can you please unmute him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. De Niro, anything you want to say?
That's it, Your Honor.
So the state filed a motion for pretrial detention pursuant to Florida statute 907.041. And because this charge, while it allegedly occurred back in 2016, is still considered a dangerous crime, even though it's filed today.
That's crazy.
I'm required to hold you with no bond. So you're going to have a hearing tomorrow before the division judge, and that judge will set a final hearing on the state's motion for pretrial detention unless there's an agreement between the parties. Okay? All right. So you have a good attorney. Listen to what he tells you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next.
So essentially, his brother, which is probably going to come up right after him, is going to get the exact same thing because they've been charged with the exact same thing. And as of right now, that judge, I believe, is down in Miami. And so right now they're saying that there's only one victim, or they're being charged in this particular case by just one victim. So the way that the Department of Justice announced it was that there was all of these multiple different victims and stuff like that. And that very well may be true. But in this instance, or in this case, because I believe that they're being charged federally and maybe as well as in the state, and so maybe they're going to be fighting two different cases at the same time. I have no clue. This stuff starts to get complicated, and this is one of the reasons why I implore guys to stay out of the mix. I even see guys still trying to make modified plans to still be passport bros, and that's cool. I'm not telling people that they shouldn't travel. I'm not telling people that they shouldn't find love. I'm not telling people that they shouldn't date outside of the United States of America or take girls with them or whatever. I'm just telling you to be careful. Because even though you may say, well, these guys are super duper rich, well, you know, that used to be a thing before where people used to say people that are super rich were the ones that were absolved from these type of cases. Now, these guys have sold billions of dollars of real estate, and both brothers are being held and being charged with crimes, including trafficking, because the woman that then accused them, or the women, in this case, it looks like it's just a woman who they're telling to stay away from. I'm sure they don't want nothing to do with her in the first place. But the woman made an accusation in 2024, the end of 2024, based off of something that she's saying happened in her interaction with them in 2016. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going on to where they didn't make this accusation back in 2016, and why are they now coming? And what is inspiring these women to start coming up with this stuff, right? But yeah, let's see what she gonna say with the next brother.
Is Oren Alexander. I believe we can handle that as well.
Man, that's talk about a fall from grace. Good gosh.
Good morning. I'll be back in 1 second. Now we have Oren Alexander. He has 2 cases here.
There should be 3 cases, Judge.
Okay. You have 3 cases, sir. I only have 2 of them here. The state attorney's here. Do you want to announce for the record again?
Yes, Natalie Snyder on behalf of the state.
Your attorney's here with your parents.
Yes, Your Honor. Joel De Niro on behalf of Oren Alexander. I'm present here with Oren's family.
All right, good morning. So I have 2 cases before me that I can address. We're going to have to get the
So
third
is this the
case.
same
Unless you want
attorney
me to
that's
wait for everything.
representing both brothers?
Probably
I'm
better
guessing.
to wait for everything.
That's fine.
All right, just have a seat, sir. I'm sorry about the delay. All right, so sir, you have 3 cases. We'll start with F24-255, what is that, 03?
Isn't this the
That's
same
an
judge
arrest
that
warrant,
had met like a high school?
Where this incident
classmate or
allegedly occurred
something
on
like that?
December 31st of 2016. So the state attorney's here, your attorney's here. Do you have any legal argument you want to make on this case?
Your Honor, again, we filed the motion for pretrial detention in this case. He is the A co-defendant in the consolidated information that was filed yesterday. He's charged with a first-degree sexual battery, so we ask that he be held until tomorrow with Mr. Alon Alexander.
No objection, Your Honor. This time we'll be back tomorrow. And as I stated, we're making a proposal, a bail proposal to the state, and hopefully the state will be amenable to that.
So they're basically agreeing with the prosecution and saying that they're going to restrict bond or bail from being proposed, and they're going to be held over, but it's only until the next day or tomorrow or whenever, so that they can ultimately try to get bail or some kind of agreement, and saying that they're not a flight risk or anything like that. But personally, I'm not sure if that's going to work because they got considerable resources. They are passport bros with ties all over the world. And so in this instance, when you are well-traveled and you have opportunity, usually what happens is they consider you a flight risk and they say you got considerable resources, and so they don't care how much money you put up. But we'll be following this case.
I have to look at the other cases and see. I don't know what the state's going to want to do on the other case. I need to review those. Renee, you have my copies? Thank you. Oh, okay. 1 second. I'm just reviewing this one. All right, so there's probable cause on this charge for the sexual battery with multiple perpetrators. I recognize that the judge who signed the warrant gave him a bond plus house arrest, but the state filed a motion for pretrial detention pending final hearing pursuant
That brother a
to
little bit more
statute
anxious.
907.041. And because it's considered a dangerous crime, I'm required to hold you with no bond. You'll see.
Your Honor.
No,
Your Honor.
yes, sir. Don't talk about the facts, though. Your attorney's here.
Your Honor, my wife is 9 months pregnant, due any day now with our first child. Her family's in Brazil. She's counting on me to be with her during labor.
That's something you have a very good attorney. You're gonna be hearing tomorrow before the division judge, and
that's rough. That's rough, dog. Married, wife, a long 9 months pregnant, expected to give birth, and I'm not sure if you ever expected to be sitting there before a judge talking about, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get bond. That's a rough one. That's rough. That's a tough dude. Good gosh. Well, you'll find out tomorrow if you can get out, but tonight you're going to jail.
Judge will consider any argument regarding a bond. Because the state filed this motion for pretrial detention, I'm required by law to grant it because this is considered a dangerous crime. Plus, I have the other 2 cases I need to look at.
There's also a federal hold, Judge.
You also have does he have a federal hold as well?
Yes, he does, Your Honor. He has a hold for the FBI.
So it's no bond, probable cause, and I also have to read the stay away order. Sir, you are ordered to stay away from the alleged victim, whose initials are MW. No contact with that alleged victim, either directly,
Same victim for
indirectly,
both
in person,
brothers.
in writing, by telephone, or through third parties. No contact with the alleged victim through social media or other electronic means, and you must stay at least 500 feet away from the alleged victim or home and school and place of employment at all times. Do you understand the stay away order, sir?
I do.
All right, now the other two cases, F-24 25507, this is another arrest warrant. This is an incident from October 26th of 2021. So these are all delayed arrests or delayed reporting. Go ahead, Ms. Snyder, what you want to say?
This is rough. This is rough. But for me, you know, I always like to reserve judgment. I always say innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. I do not believe unless we are presented with evidence that says to the contrary. Outside of just somebody's word, I do not believe by default anybody that accuses somebody of doing something wild like this, especially years later. But we gonna see what happened and we gonna play it by ear. Curious as to what you guys think. Again, make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get that. That's down in the description. Also, and then make sure you guys get your tickets to come and kick it with me December 14th in Detroit. I love you. I appreciate you. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments.